you're going to show up to play, and you're going to lollygag through this scrimmage, through this drill. I'm going to beat you. I'm going to let you know I beat you. I'm going to want you to reconsider your professional life choice.
Let's dive into your mindset, because I really think that you have so many things that translate beyond sports. When we talk about mindset and beliefs, we talk about limiting beliefs as sort of being the ceiling of your potential. How do you stretch your beliefs and make sure you are continually pushing the boundaries of your comfort zone and your capabilities?
I just dream. I dream. I have dreams, and dreams they should be pure. I think a lot of times when we're born into this world, we actually wind up going backwards. And it seems like the more we mature, the more responsible our dreams become. And the more governors we put on ourselves and our ability to dream and to reimagine. And it's always a fight for us parents and for you guys to make sure that your dreams always stay pure. So it's not a matter of pushing beyond the limitations or expectations. It's really a matter of protecting your dreams, protecting your imagination. That's really the key. And when you do that, then the world just seems limitless. Well, no, I mean, it's that's the trick, isn't it? It's finding what you love to do. I mean, we talk about hard work all the time. It's like, man, if you got to get up every single morning and remind yourself how hard you need to work, you probably need to choose a different profession, because that shouldn't be there. I wake up in the morning excited to get to it. If I'm not training, I'm missing it. I'm not watching a game of basketball, I miss it. There's no place I'd rather be. And if you have that feeling, then you're truly doing what God has put you on this earth to do.
The owner of the Lakers, Jerry Buss, said it was like watching a miracle happen. And for those of us watching on TV or were there, it really was one of those things you just couldn't believe was possible. During the game, did you have to sort of like reset your beliefs? I know Lamar Odom was saying you can't get 60, you can't get 70. Or did you just let it flow and whatever happened, happened? Or were you really like gunning for numbers?
No, I always dreamed as a kid that it was possible to score 80 or 90 or 100. I always just had a dream. Like sometimes you lay down in bed and you visualize things. You just kind of, that's at least how I would go to sleep. I'd lay down, I'd imagine playing for the Lakers, and I'd imagine what the uniforms look like. I'd imagine what we'd be playing, the smell of the arena and all sorts of stuff. And I would see myself, getting hot, score 10 straight points. But in a dream, like, why would you ever interrupt that? Like, you're not going to have a dream and be like, okay, then he misses his next 6. Like, it's not going to happen. So you just keep dreaming and dreaming and dreaming. And before I go to sleep, I'm like at 120 points, And so when you grow up, downloading that into your brain over and over and over. And then, that summer, I made 1,000 shots a day. 1,000. And they weren't just shots. It were shots that you saw in that game. They were specific shots. I mean, it was coming out of the corner, going to the pinch post, footwork in the post, coming off the screen. It was very specific. So when you download that into your system, you go out in the court, and you're just executing things that you've done thousands of times before, and you have that dream, then that becomes possible.
During the anthem, you seem to go to a place, where you're generating calm, focus, confidence. Do you have a mindfulness or meditative practice that you use while you play?
Yeah, well, Phil introduced meditation to us when he came to our team in 99, 2000. It was something that I instantly gravitated to because I could see the effects. And I used to watch, studying the games, the Bulls teams, and watching their demeanor, watching their composure, playing in a tough place like Utah in the finals and being down 17. But everybody was like this. Couldn't tell if they were down 17 or up 20 or a tie game. It never changed. And that's when I started doing more research. And when Phil came, I immediately gravitated to him and found myself accepted the challenge of finding what that space is. And for the 81-point game, man, to be honest, I wasn't even thinking about the game. My knee was hurting so much. I didn't know then, but I had a flatwood joint of cartilage stuck in my joint line. So my mind was really trying to go to a place where I don't feel that pain. And the game started, and because of that, I was just in a different space. I wasn't worried about what was to come. I wasn't worried about what just happened. I was just here. And when you're just there in the moment, playing plays right in front of you, your focus is heightened because nothing else matters. And that's the space I've tried to get to.
It's a perfect definition of mindfulness.
There was a year I played Indiana Pacers in the finals. I rolled my ankle really bad. I came back, finished the series, but I couldn't touch a basketball until mid-September, which was driving me crazy, so I couldn't train. But I looked at, this was like the 10th time I rolled my ankle in one season. So I'm looking at that and I'm saying, okay, I gotta address that. And so being that I couldn't get on the basketball court, what I did was I took tap dancing lessons.
Okay.
No kidding. I took tap, and tap was like the best training for me in the world because it strengthened my feet, it changed my rhythm and my approach to the game. I was able to change speeds when I came back the following season. I was just around the game a lot, and I gravitated to the ball, and I was completely geeking out about like the smell of the ball and like the way it sounds when it hits concrete versus how it hits a parquet floor, and like the sound of the nets and the different material of the nets. And you know, there's certain basketball hoops, like in high school gyms and in college gyms, the rim sits slightly above the lower part of the backboard. And it was like, I was geeking out if I got into a gym which was like the NBA with the lower extension of the backboard and the hoop were completely parallel with each other. Like little shit like that would freak me out. I think you have to challenge yourself to evolve and to grow. And I couldn't think of a better message for athletes in particular, because it's very easy for us athletes to kind of lose ourselves and our identity by connecting who we are to what we do. And I think it's a very dangerous zone to be in, right? So it's common sense to me to be able to say, okay, the next stage I'm going after with the same intensity, the same attention to detail, the same curiosity. So of course I'd want to be better at that than I was in my previous career.
That's a pretty high bar, though. You have enough energy left for that orange, I guess.
We're going to find out, right? I mean, that's the thing. You go for it. You do all you can. You learn as much as you can. You continue to try. You continue to improve. You continue to evolve. And then you can see who you are, right? 20 years from now, I can look in the mirror and say I gave it my best shot, and we did the best we could, and see where we end up. I mean, it's the curiosity. I think the curiosity is the most important thing. I mean, it sounds really weird to say, but like leadership lessons. I learned leadership lessons just from walking in the park and just observing nature, and the sun's relationship with nature, and relationship with the moon, and the sun understanding when to be present and when to go away, right? Because as a teammate, it was like, dude, the sun's out all damn long. You're gonna sunburn a hell of a lot of people, right? So if I'm playing this game and I'm on top of my guys for 48 minutes, dude, you're gonna sunburn every single teammate there, right? So there's certain times where it's important for the sun to be present. There's other times it needs to go away, right? And but there are life lessons that surround us at all times, and I've always been extremely, extremely curious about those things. As a leader of a team, it's also your responsibility to elevate the rest of the guys. And what people tend to get stuck on a lot is saying, okay, the way to make players better is to pass them the ball when they're open. That's a very trivial way to look at things. What you have to do is you have to get them emotionally to want to be better. You have to get them to an emotional space where they wake up every morning driven to be the best version of themselves, right? How do you do that? And in practice, for me, it was a chance to drive them, to challenge them, right? And this is where you have to know your teammates, because if it's late, you just had a back-to-back and we had practice the next day and you show up, guys don't feel like going through the motions, don't feel like practicing. It's important to know each and every one of them individually, personally, because then you know what nerve to touch. Some guys, it's like, okay, come on, we can do this. That'll get them going. Other guys, no. You got to figure out what button to push. Powell was always Spain. If I tell them how they lost in a gold medal to us and how they're going to lose again, how I'm going to beat your ass in practice just like I beat you in a gold medal game, he would hate that. But that's what practice was. You have to drive them. You absolutely have to. And if practice is more intense and harder than a Game 7 will be, then a Game 7 will be easy. But if it's not, then that's when teams start folding and capitulating. I was able to find enjoyment in the process of it, and I think it's just finding what it is that you love to do. Like I don't feel like I worked a day in my life. It's hard work as it's defined by the world, but to me, there was no place I'd rather be. I'd rather not be anywhere. I'd rather be on the track at 4 in the morning running wind sprints and, than be in a weight room at 6. and then be on the court at 9, and then train till 3, and then be back. Like I'd rather be doing that than anything else. So it wasn't like it was hard work. I just found what it is that I love to do.
Can you tell us why you're doing this? Why you're going into a creative endeavor like Granity Studios?
Because I love doing it. I mean, it's that simple. You have to sit and ask yourself what is truly going to get you up in the morning, what's going to keep you up at night, and when you find what that answer is, you stay true to that. I've built a brand for the last 20-some years, personal brand, which is great, but that is not where our focus is going to be for the next 50 years. Right? It's what we are doing now. Are we taking a big risk? Yeah, but I think that if we focus on one thing and do that one thing exceptionally well, we won't fail at that one thing. So sometimes you got to put the other stuff to bed and focus on what you believe is the core of the company, and that always starts from what you love to do the most.
When you were a kid, did you ever dream of hearing, and the Oscar goes to?
No, no. I mean, I grew up in Italy, okay? So like, I didn't even know Oscars was a thing. Like, I had no idea, and so when the nominations came out, we were nominated, it was like, oh, that's pretty crazy, it's pretty insane. And then to actually win it, I remember winning and just looking at my wife and going, what the fuck? It's just like, what? Okay, all right, this happened. All right. And I remember after we won it, we got in the car, and it was like a late night, right? So we out hanging out and stuff, and it's like 4 in the morning, and, we're in the car going back, and I look at my wife and I go, now we gotta follow this shit up.
We're going to talk about Granity Studios and what projects you have coming, but you're right, you've set a pretty high bar.
Yeah, just a little bit. Man, I don't know what the hell. You do what with Glenn Keane and John Williams. It's all downhill after that. It's like, but no, it's been a fantastic experience. It's been wonderful. But even more important than that, I got a lot of funny looks my last year when people said, okay, what are you going to do when you retire? And I said, well, I'm going to be a storyteller. Okay, that's cute. What is that? I tell stories. Okay, all right, but so when you retire, you're going to go through different stages. You're going to be depressed the first week, the second week, and they would tell me this all the time. And so I felt like the nomination was validation that this thing is real, and I can do this. I do have talent other than dribbling and shooting the basketball.
96, our next speaker faced an 18-year-old Kobe Bryant on the court for the first time. Midway through the game, while playing, Kobe asked him for tips on his jump shot. Kobe scored 33 points that game against his boyhood idol. Michael scored 36 and won the game too. Please welcome Michael Jordan.
I would say good morning, but it's afternoon. I'm grateful to Vanessa and the Bryant family for the opportunity to speak today. I'm grateful to be here to honor Gigi and celebrate the gift that Kobe gave us all. What he accomplished as a basketball player, as a businessman, and a storyteller, and as a father. In the game of basketball, in life, as a parent, Kobe left nothing in the tank. He left it all on the floor. Maybe it surprised people that Kobe and I were very close friends, but we were very close friends. Kobe was my dear friend. He was like a little brother. Everyone always wanted to talk about the comparisons between he and I. I just wanted to talk about Kobe. You know, all of us have brothers and sisters, little sisters who, for whatever reason, always tend to get in your stuff, your closet, your shoes, everything. It was a nuisance, if I can say that word. But that nuisance turned into love over a period of time, just because the admiration that they had for you as big brothers or big sisters. The questions, the wanting to know every little detail about life that they were about to embark on. He used to call me, text me, 11:30, 2:30, 3 o'clock in the morning, talking about post-up moves, footwork, and sometimes the triangle. At first, it was an aggravation. But then it turned into a certain passion. This kid had passion like you would never know. And it's an amazing thing about passion. If you love something, if you have a strong passion for something, you would go to the extreme to try to understand or try to get it. Either ice cream, Cokes, hamburgers, whatever you have a love for. If you have to walk, you would go get it. If you have to beg someone, you would go get it. What Kobe Bryant was to me was the inspiration that someone truly cared about the way I played the game or the way that he wanted to play the game. He wanted to be the best basketball player that he could be. And as I got to know him, I wanted to be the best big brother that I could be. To do that, you had to put up with the aggravation, the late night calls, or the dumb questions. I took great pride as I got to know Kobe Bryant that he was just trying to be a better person, a better basketball player. We talked about business. We talked about family. We talked about everything. And he was just trying to be a better person. Now he's got me. I'll have to look at another crime meme for the next. I told my wife I wasn't going to do this because I didn't want to see that for the next 3 or 4 years. That is what Kobe Bryant does to me. I'm pretty sure Vanessa and his friends all can say the same thing. He knows how to get to you in a way that affects you personally, even though if he's being a pain in the ass. But you ever have a sense of love for him in the way that he can bring out the best in you. And he did that for me. I remember maybe a couple of months ago, he sends me a text. And he's saying, I'm trying to teach my daughter some moves. And I don't know what I was thinking or what I was working on. But what were you thinking about when you were as you were growing up, trying to work on your moves? I said, what age? He says, 12. I said, 12, I was trying to play baseball. He sends me a text back saying, laughing my ass off. And this was at 2 o'clock in the morning. But the thing about him was we could talk about anything that related to basketball, but we can talk about anything that related to life. And we, as we grow up in life, rarely have friends that we can have conversations like that. Well, it's even rare when you can grow up against adversaries and have conversations like that. I went and saw Phil Jackson in 1999 or maybe 2000. I don't know when Phil was here in LA. And I walk in and Kobe's sitting there. And the first thing, I'm in a suit. First thing Kobe said, "Did you bring your shoes?" No, I wasn't thinking about playing. But his attitude to compete and play against someone he felt like he could enhance and improve his game with. To me, that's what I loved about the kid. Absolutely loved about the kid. No matter where he saw me, it was a challenge. And I admired him because his passion, you rarely see someone who's looking and trying to improve each and every day, not just in sports, but as a parent, as a husband. I am inspired by what he's done and what he's shared with Vanessa and what he's shared with his kids. I have a daughter who's 30 who just became a grandparent. And I have 2 twins. I have twins at 6. I can't wait to get home to become a girl dad and to hug them and to see the love that and the smiles that they bring to us as parents. He taught me that just by looking at this tonight, looking at how he responded and reacted with the people that he actually loved. These are the things that we will continue to learn from Kobe Bryant. To Vanessa, Natalia, Bianca, Capri, my wife and I will keep you close in our hearts and our prayers. We will always be here for you, always. I also want to offer our condolences and support to all the families affected by this enormous tragedy. Kobe gave every last ounce of himself to whatever he was doing. After basketball, he showed a creative side to himself that I didn't think any of us knew he had. In retirement, he seemed so happy. He found new passions, and he continued to give back as a coach in his community. More importantly, he was an amazing dad, amazing husband, who dedicated himself to his family and who loved his daughters with all his heart. Kobe never left anything on the court. And I think that's what he would want for us to do. No one knows how much time we have. That's why we must live in the moment. We must enjoy the moment. We must reach and see and spend as much time as we can with our families and friends and the people that we absolutely love. To live in the moment means to enjoy each and every one that we come in contact with. When Kobe Bryant died, a piece of me died. And as I look in this arena and across the globe, a piece of you died, or else you wouldn't be here. Those are the memories that we have to live with and we learn from. I promise you, from this day forward, I will live with the memories of knowing that I had a little brother that I tried to help in every way I could. Please rest in peace, little brother.